Welcome, ghouls, ghosts, and mere mortals, to the Hidden Creek Manor. Now, in this episode, we're going to go over something that is kind of an essential for just about any haunt. Something that can transfer an ordinary, boring space into something that's creepy and spooky, and it's relatively easy to do. Only problem is some people might be creeped out, because what we're going to get into today is normally made by our creepy crawly eight-legged friends. That's right. Today we're talking about spiderwebs. So let's just jump straight into it and get to decorating. So just about any haunt you go to, or anytime people decorate for Halloween, typically one of the first things you see are spiderwebs. And really, they're pretty cheap to buy at the store. This stuff right here, it's stretchy, it's easy to set up. I can just kind of put it on here and away I go making spiderwebs. Not the best example, of course, but indoor, that's fine. No problem. It's easy cleanup. Take it down and you're done. Outdoor, that's another story. If you use these outside, they're not really reusable. So it's kind of a one and done, which is pretty cheap, but still, can't reuse these. Also, and you can even see in this one, I've got some spiders still stuck in here and maybe some other stuff, but if you put these outside, it just grabs everything. Leaves and sticks and grass, and just gets dirty and gunked up pretty fast. Kobe! So we're not going to use that in our haunt. Or at least not on the outside. We do use that type of spiderweb inside the house. But for the outside, we use something that gets a lot more attention. It's more noticeable. It picks up on the haunt lights. You can reuse it every year. And it doesn't create a mess. And that something is beef netting. That's right. The stuff that they use to wrap meat in is perfect for making spider webs. This stuff is durable. It can be washed, I think. I've never washed ours, but I think you can. But anyway, it's like I said, it's durable. You can use it year after year. I don't wash ours because, well, the old ones, they kind of get dirty over time, but it just adds to the effect. But anyway, we're going to show you how you can take this ordinary beef netting and turn it into some really cool spider webs. And there's not a lot of supplies needed to do this. It's a very easy decoration. Other than the beef netting, the only things you will need are scissors and yard stakes. That's it. So when we purchased our beef netting, we bought it from a company called Trenton Mills. Now, in the past, when we bought it at least, you couldn't wait till the spooky season to buy it. You had to buy it ahead of time. It would take a while for them to ship it, and they would sell out a lot during the Halloween season because there are so many haunters that use it in their haunts. Now, things have changed. So for you guys, you could buy this stuff on Amazon. You could still get it from Trenton Mills and other websites. So it's a lot more accessible. So I figured now's probably a good time to make a video on how to make spider webs out of this stuff. So first thing we'll need to do is we need to measure it to the length of spider web that we want. Let's go over here and do that. All right, so the first thing that you want to do is just cut it to length, or the length that you want. And I will warn you that once you start cutting the holes in it for the spider web, it will get longer. So just kind of keep that in mind. I'm not going to do an exact measurement for this demonstration, so we'll just say that's good. And I will cut along. Not the best scissors. All right. Now, once you cut that beef netting, it is kind of rounded here. And you can see if I hold it up in the camera. So we have to cut a slit, so that way it's no longer rounded. Now you can, and I'll show you here with this one, just bunch it up. Once you've got it bunched up, grab your scissors Slice right through it. And now, we're good. The problem, though, with just doing it kind of all willy-nilly with the scissors like that, is you don't get nice, even cuts. You can kind of see it's not perfect. And that's fine, because we're just going to be using it as a spider web in the yard. But I would recommend cutting it on a flat surface. Just kind of go along, don't bunch it up. You get a much cleaner cut. All right, so now we got to cut down the middle. And, you know, you don't have to be perfect with this. Like I said before, we're just going to be hanging it up. It's supposed to look like a spider made it. So, you know, we don't need those even lines, but it does make a smoother cut if you go this route instead of doing the bunched up method. So I don't know if you guys can see that well, but it is a cleaner cut. Now, of course, it's kind of bunched up towards the bottom there. I'm stretching out the top, but it is a cleaner cut than what it was before. So now let's hang it up and start cutting the holes to make it look like a spider web.
A few moments later.
All right, so as you can see, I've got the spider web stretched out, or the beef netting stretched out. It's not spider web yet. Now we just get the scissors and just start cutting holes. All different size shapes. Well, once again, these are not the best scissors. I should have got some better scissors for this. But all different shapes and sizes that you just want to cut. And you can get as creative with this as you want. You can make these holes big, you can make them small, you can make it more of a, I guess, more holes, less holes, whatever you want to do, whatever look you're going for, go for it. But I would just recommend just doing a variation of sizes, big, small. If you're going to do a bunch of webs, maybe do different styles where one web might be less holes and the next web might have more holes. But it's literally just eyeballing. You just go through here, just cut those holes with your scissors until that web looks the way you want it to look. Don't let anyone tell you that you're doing your web wrong. It's your web. Make it how you want it. Man, I'm struggling though with these scissors. But you guys get the idea by looking at what I've done so far, where it's just super simple. You just go in and cut holes, make them however you want them. Good enough for now, for demonstration. You guys get the idea. So now that we've got our web kind of cut up how we want it, let's take this outside and I'll show you guys how we set it up in the haunt. All right, so we are in the Forbidden Forest here at the Manor. And the first thing we want to do is attach the spider web to the tree. Now you can do this however you want. We have screws that are already attached to the tree just because we put these spider webs up every year. So it just makes it that much easier to attach them. The first one I just kind of hung up there temporarily because I figured we would have to move some stuff around. The second one though, as you can see, I am tying it. I double tie them. If you single tie it and you start pulling on it, a lot of times it can come loose. But even now you can see where it's starting to droop in the middle. So we'll fix that in a moment. But now that we have it tied to the tree, we want to go ahead and stake it to the ground. Now, once again, we are not finished with this. There are still more holes that we're going to end up cutting. And when we do that, it'll stretch out some more. So this is just temporary, just to get it staked into the ground so it can be stretched out, so we can start working on those holes. Now, for now, I just attach the two corners to the ground. Once we get it closer to the end and finalized, I'll probably add more stakes in the ground. But at this point, we've got it stretched out. But as you can see, it's drooping quite a bit towards the top there in the middle. So that first side that I attached, I'm going to go ahead and stretch this out and then attach a different part of the web to that. And then that does leave me a bit of excess. So what I ended up doing was tying the corner piece of the web to another web that we already had strung up next to the tree. But now that we have it stretched out, it's nice and tight, it's time to start cutting more holes, because when we were doing this earlier, I just kind of cut a few just to show you guys what it will look like, but now we want to get into this and cut a lot more to make it look realistic. Once again, you can cut these holes however you want, make as many or as few as you want. And then once you're happy with the amount of holes, then you may want to adjust things. I'm going to put more posts at the bottom, and I moved them around so it's nice and tight once again. Now that it's readjusted, I'll just check one more time, make sure we've got the right amount of holes, it looks the way we want it, and that's it. And as you can see with some of our existing spider webs, you really can mix this up all you want. You can create as many or as few of those holes. There is no wrong way to do it. These all look good, in my opinion at least. So just set them up how you want. A lot of holes, little holes, they're your webs. Do what you need to do to make yourself happy. So let's take a quick look at what this will look like with the haunt lights turned on. And here's a little bonus tip for you guys. Whenever you take down the web at the end of the year, if you want to reuse them, just get a plastic bag, scrunch up that web and all those yardsticks and throw them in that bag. That way it's easy to store. You could label the bag so that way you could put the same webs in the same spot every year, but very easy to store and they don't take up a lot of space. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this episode. I hope everyone enjoyed it. I love these spider webs that are made out of beef netting. They're so much better than the cheap stuff that's hanging up here behind me still. They're more durable. You can reuse them from year to year. You can stylize them a little bit easier. They show up better in the haunt lights. So yeah, they're just way better, I would say, than the cheap stuff. And they're still relatively cheap. You're not spending an arm and a leg to get this the beef netting. And once again, I will leave a description in the comments so that way you can check out the beef netting yourself. If you really love this episode about spiderwebs and just want to watch more, I would recommend checking out the Wicked Makers channel, specifically their video that they did on these spiderwebs as well. It's one of the videos that got us started with spiderwebs, so I figured I would promote them to you guys so you can check them out as well. So Wicked Makers, they got a lot of really cool videos, but check out their spiderweb video. But we're going to go ahead and wrap it up, and don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons. That way you can stay up to date and notified with what we're doing here at Hidden Creek Manor. And you might want to tune in next week, because next week's going to be a pretty special episode. So stay tuned for that. But for now, happy haunting. I will see you in the next one.
Congratulations. You made it to the end of the video. As a reward for sticking around, you may now watch one of these two videos. The choice is yours, but choose wisely.